The sun rises over a bustling city, and we find ourselves amidst the chaos of a typical morning routine. Enter Sarah and Mark, two young professionals sharing a compact city apartment. Sarah, always the early bird, is at the mercy of Mark's thoughtless habits. He drinks the last cup of coffee without brewing more, borrows Sarah's belongings without asking, and his idea of cleaning up is a foreign concept. Sarah, exhausted and frustrated, leaves for work, her patience wearing thin. Sarah enters her office, her frustration from the morning still lingering. Cooped up in her cubicle, she's processing the morning's events when Lisa, her ever-observant co-worker, pops her head over the partition. Lisa's curiosity is piqued. She's not used to seeing Sarah in such a state. "What's going on, Sarah?" she asks with genuine concern. Sarah sighs, sharing her ordeal with Mark, the constant belittling, the dismissive comments, and the emotional manipulation. Lisa, never one to mince words, puts forth a suggestion that startles Sarah. "Why don't you treat Mark the same way he treats you?" Lisa proposes. "Maybe that'll teach him a lesson." Sarah hesitates, mulling over Lisa's advice. It's a drastic measure, but perhaps it's just what Mark needs to understand the impact of his actions. With a newfound resolve, Sarah leaves work, determined to set things straight. Back at the apartment, Sarah begins to act just as Mark does. She starts to borrow his things without asking, leaving an empty spot where his favorite hoodie used to be. She leaves her dishes piled high in the sink, a mountain of porcelain and stainless steel for Mark to scale. She takes the last drop of coffee, leaving him with an empty carafe in the early morning. Sarah's behavior is a mirror image of Mark's usual antics. It's as if she's taken a page right out of his book, but with a twist. Mark, usually the instigator, is now on the receiving end. He's taken aback by this sudden change, his eyebrows knitting together in confusion. He can't quite put his finger on why his comfortable world feels topsy-turvy, but he doesn't voice his thoughts. Sarah, feeling victorious, goes to bed, leaving Mark in a state of confusion. The tables have indeed turned. The next morning, Sarah finds Mark cleaning the apartment. Mark, looking sheepish, apologizes for his past behavior, admitting he had been oblivious to how his actions were affecting Sarah, until she mirrored them back at him. Sarah, caught off guard and somewhat guilty, confesses she was only trying to teach him a lesson. They both burst into laughter, as they make a pact to be more considerate towards each other. As the sun sets, they sit down to a clean apartment and a fresh pot of coffee, each having learned an unexpected lesson. In the quiet of the evening, Sarah sits with her cup of coffee, reflecting on the day's events. She understands that her plan, while effective, didn't bring her joy. She decides to treat others not as they treat her, but how she desires to be treated. As she takes a sip of her coffee, she smiles, realizing that the Golden Rule isn't just about fairness, it's about kindness too. Thank you for watching Golden Rule in action on Hope in His Word. If you enjoyed this emotional roller coaster turned comedy, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more surprising and uplifting content.